Hi LAC 480 students for week 4 of the class this spring. By the way, this is the amount of people who greeted the LA Rams when they came home from the Super Bowl this past week. So you can see how rabid the fan base is, and you can see why the Super Bowl sounded like a home game for the Patriots. So for this week, we'll look at discussion number 4. And before we get anywhere, Maureen Perry has spoken to, I think, all of you now through the Blackboard discussion, the reference librarian. She'll be adding comments regarding your choice of sources. So you're going to be starting to look at sources for your topic. And you're thinking, oh my gosh, I don't even have a topic yet. Well, on Blackboard, there's something called, what do I do? I don't know what to do, I should say. What do I do would be the same thing. So when you're thinking of a topic, you can look at this outline here. Okay, I'm not going to read it all to you right now as I'm making I'm pointing with my fingers right on the screen. I'm not sure if you can see all that. So I'm using all the fingers, by the way, not just one in particular. So choosing a topic, social justice topic, and so on. And some people have done this. That pictures storyboard, that's really cool. Because I'm not that type of person to think in that way, but I think that's really cool if you can. It might help you. Developing a working thesis, we're getting into that, and so that's one thing you're going to have to do. And these are the ideas. So starting with a thesis, like you could say, people who eat hot dogs die. Sometimes I'll get that. Okay, people who hot dogs die. Well, that's great, but what are the variables about those things as well? So what you're going to be doing is just thinking of your thesis in that way. So once you have your thesis and just an idea, it's going to be a working thesis, but right now you're just looking for articles or books, and these have to be scholarly articles and books, so nothing from the National Enquirer or People magazine or the local newspaper. However, the local newspaper or something like the New York Times can give you an idea of where to go for research. So you're finding 5 books or articles of scholarly resources. That's right here. And this is after you've read these things. And these sections here are something that's already been assigned. So if you've been keeping up with the readings, then this will look familiar. And then describe each source in this way. So that's what you're going to do for number 4. Describe. And then you're going to go back and write your working thesis. Okay, on page 73, there's an outline of how to write your working thesis. So a paragraph is sufficient. So for this discussion, you're going to attach the following: formulating a research question hypothesis sheet with your first ideas. So look in the textbook here. That's how it's done. And the description of your first 5 possible. So you're going to be doing this for the next few weeks. You're going to be adding 5 for the next few weeks because you want 20. So your post is due on these dates, and the response is due on that date. So again, I'm going to go back to the Blackboard so you can see some of these sources here. So I don't know what to do, and you're also going to look. You can look at some library resources here that Maureen has posted, so that can help as well. So you have that site, and you have this site, this folder over here. So those are the things that you want to be thinking about, and you're going to be doing that, and that's going to be due at the end of next week. And that is basically it. So before that, send in your ideas so we can talk about it. So send it to me by email, and we can talk about it and say good job, or you may want to do this, or it's usually the ideas are good. It's just that you want to formulate them so that you can do it in time. Some people will have these great thesis ideas, but it's at a master's or PhD level, and we don't have that time. So this is your senior thesis, close to a master's level, but you have to remember that we only have a few weeks to do this. And in fact, this is week 4, so you have about 12 weeks left. And that's counting the break. So think about the subject that you want. It can change, but you pass it along to me. And I thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.